Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Welcome back to another lecture of OCM for Standard 12 Commerce. We are on chapter number 6, that is social responsibilities of business. We have already studied what is the concept of social responsibility, that is, social responsibility of business refers to its obligations towards the society, towards the groups which are directly or indirectly participating in the working of an organization. Basically, social responsibility is the actions which an organization takes apart from its technical and economic interest. That means the things that an organization do for the society, for the people of the society, for the stakeholders, apart from making profit, with not with the purpose of making profit but with the purpose of serving them, is called as social responsibility. According to Keith Davis, social responsibility of business refers to the obligation of businessman's decision and action beyond the firm's technical and economic interest. That is so true. That means if an organization is taking certain actions and fulfilling their obligations towards the various sections of the society, apart from its direct economic benefits and technical fortes. That means, for example, L&T, Larsen and Toubro, is a company which deals in infrastructure, but no, sorry, I'll give you another example. Godrej is an electronic company. So they, if they are planting trees in the localities around its organization, that is social responsibility. Planting trees is neither technical nor economic benefit to Godrej, but they are doing it for the environment, for the society. So that is the concept of social responsibility. We have already studied the social responsibilities of business towards employees, towards government, towards investors, towards owners. Today we'll be studying the social responsibilities of business towards consumers and towards various other social groups and environment. First is responsibilities towards consumers. Who are the consumers? Consumers are the people who use your product. They are the people who takes active participation in, if they are the end, if all your hard work is wasted if they do not buy your product. Why does a company makes a product? So that the consumers, why does the company makes a product? So that the consumers can buy that product. If a consumer is not buying your product, that means that you are not fulfilling your business. Your business is going to be at loss. Why? Because you are making a product, you are spending lots of money, energy, time, human resource, everything on it, and at the end of the day there are no consumers, there are no customers. So what will be you suffering from? You will be suffering from loss. So in order to reduce that loss, you need to maintain your customers, you need to you need to make your customers loyal to your organization, so that they do not go to somebody else and your profit is not affected, your business is not affected. So what are the responsibilities that an organization will fulfill towards its consumers? Are good quality products. Very true. Consumers will be loyal to you only if you provide them with good quality product. That is the most important thing. If you are providing with bad quality product and you are selling it at a cheaper price, then two people will not buy it. Why? Because the quality of the product will be cheap, it will not be good, consumers will not like it, they would like to spend 2 rupees extra and get a good product with a good quality. So providing consumers with quality product is basic responsibility of an organization. Inferior or substandard products should not be provided. They should be rejected in the quality control department itself. Then all the products should be ISO certified, and they should always pass the quality control check. After the quality check is done, then only the product should be approved for sale in the market. What will happen if you are doing proper quality check at the proper time and providing consumer with good quality product? They will not move from your brand to another brand. They will be loyal to you, and your consumers will be maintained, thereby increasing profit. Second, fair prices. I just said that people would like to spend 2 rupees extra and buy a good product, but people will not like to spend 100 rupees extra. Why? Because that would be unfair to the standard of the product. You cannot sell uh, you cannot sell a biscuit for 100 rupees, a packet of biscuit for 100 rupees, whereas other players are selling it at 10 rupees. If you are using good quality ingredients, if you are using good quality oil and everything is hygienic, then you can charge a little bit extra. It should be fair. 10, 15, 20 rupees. Extraordinary pricing system should be avoided. The consumers should not be cheated by charging higher prices. It is not possible to fool the customer at all the time. Fair prices convert a one-time consumer to a permanent consumer. There are a lot of people who comes to you to buy a product only because your prices are low or your prices are considerable. Then the MRP, maximum retail price. Every product that you buy have an MRP. If you buy a packet of biscuit, turn it around and see there will be MRP rupees 5. That is maximum retail price. It includes all the taxes. That means you cannot sell that biscuit above 5 rupees. If you see a shampoo bottle and turn around, the MRP is 400 rupees. You cannot sell the shampoo above 400 rupees. 400 rupees is the maximum retail price for that shampoo. Okay, you can basically give discounts also, but charging them good amount of price is more important. Then what is next? The next point of responsibility is customer safety. The products that you're making, when they are passing the quality check, it should not only check the inferiority of the product but also the safety of the product. All the products should be good for the health of the consumers. Unsafe products should not be marketed. You should not sell them unsafe product, or you should not use unsafe raw materials. Consumers should, if you are using, or if your product is a bit unsafe to use or would be difficult to use at the beginning, you should give them safety instruction. You should give them warning of any unsafe goods, so that they are aware and they do not so that they are aware and they do not complain or grieve on the part of the organization. Next is the next point is honest advertising. Yes, advertising plays a very important role, be it print advertising or media advertising, anything. But if you are doing a good advertising, then and then only you will be the top of the mind product of the consumers. Consumers know about your brand because of advertising. If you stop making advertisements, people will not know that your product exists, so people won't buy your product. The consumers want to know more and more about your product just by for example, if Parle-G just says Parle-G biscuit and does not give any information about it, will you go and buy it? No. Why? Because you don't know what does that biscuit contains. In On the other hand, if Parle-G portrays its advertisement, gives full details, this biscuit contains wheat, flour, milk which is good for your child's health, your child will become a genius, so you will tend to buy that product. Why? Because you are making honest advertisement, whereas a dishonest advertisement should be avoided. Like there are certain fairness creams wherein you find that a girl applies a fairness cream and the skin glows in one day. That is dishonest. Such advertisement should be avoided. You should not cheat customers by making false advertisement, because there will be girls who want to get glow or who want to get fair skin will go and buy that product and apply it, and there won't be any result instantly. So basically, advertisements that are made should convey all the information regarding the product, and it should give the features, advantages, disadvantages, or side effects of the product, and it should be attractive to the customers. Also, false and misleading advertisement or vulgar advertisement should be avoided. That is the responsibility of the business. The next point is after sales services. Only selling the product is not the last step. After you sell your product to the customers are expecting you to provide them with after sales services. That means if they are not able to install the product, they will call you up, you will assist them. If they are not satisfied with the product, they will call you up and exchange the product. If they are having any problem in operating their product, they will call up and your employees will go and help them in using the product. These are all after sales services, and efficient and effective after sales services are very important to be established. This creates a very good relation between the customer and the organization. People will say that when I bought a Philips iron and I had a problem, I called up the Philips guy and they came to my house in 2 days. That is a good thing. They are providing after sales services. Whereas I bought one generic iron and it was not working, I called up the company and they didn't respond. This is a negative effect. They are not providing me with after sales services, so I am going to buy Philips only. This creates customer loyalty, this creates customers satisfaction. So after sales services is also a responsibility of the organization. Research and development. The organization should work continuously or on its R&D in order to improve the quality of the product, in order to make new variants, in order to provide innovation to the customers, so that it must provide quality standards such as BIS or AGMARK on respective products. Okay. Next topic is regular supply. Consumer should not should be supplied with regular good quality product as and when required by them. The commercial organization should not do hoarding or should not create artificial shortage of goods for black marketing. This should be avoided. Consumers should be given product at a regular and constant supply. Attend complaints. If the customers have certain complaints regarding the quality of the product, you will always see that the products have a feedback website or a feedback email ID or a mail ID wherein you can write. They say write to us on www.feedback.com, like that, so that they customers, when they give their feedback, the organization should respond to their feedback, thank them, or see the suggestions and work on it. Okay. Avoid customer exploitation. Business should avoid unfair trade practices which leads to exploitation of consumers. Also, they should avoid monopolistic competition in the interest of the consumers. They should not be like, I am the only one who makes this product and nobody else can make it. Here in today's scenario, there is a competitive environment and not monopolistic environment. So these were the responsibilities of consumers towards responsibility of organization towards customer, which includes providing fair prices, regular supply, good quality products, avoiding misleading advertisement, honest advertisement, and standard products, etc., should be given to the consumers. The next topic is responsibilities of organizations towards community, society, or public in general. These are the people who are not your owners, they are not your investors, they have not invested any money in your organization, they are not government, they are not your employees, and neither do they buy your product. Okay, so what are the responsibilities of organization towards such people of the society? Yes, there is a responsibility. Why? Because you're using everything that is available in the society, so it is your duty to give back. The very first is protection of environment. Pollution, every kinds of pollution, air, water, soil, is created by business organization while extracting raw materials or producing new products or setting up industries. So these pollution, the business organization should work very hard to minimize any such kind of pollution. Air pollution, water pollution, etc., should be avoided, and all possible actions should be taken to minimize this pollution. Second is better and maximum use of resources. Resources that you have, men, water, money, etc., should be used properly. There should not be a scarcity of any kind of resources. Optimum use of available resource is the concept of business organization. Maximum use of resources, optimum, without making any wastage, so that you don't like, for example, if you are making less wastage and using more of the resource, you will have to extract less and your environment will be less affected. And there is a direct effect on the environment by the extent of how you use the resources. Reservation for weaker section. The organization is expected to reserve certain positions in their establishment for economically weaker sections of the society. To lift up the economically weaker section of the society, these people expect financial and other help from business units which will be provided. If there are rural areas where there is no electricity, where there is no education, where there is no such things, the organization should work on towards such sections of the society. Like for example, PNG have Project Shakti, wherein if you buy one product of PNG company, one share or 1 rupees goes to the education of the females. Okay, so this is reservation for weaker section. Development of backward regions. The society requires that the business organization should be started in backward areas. What will happen if you start up your industries and factories in backward areas? There will be employment for the people, there will be an improvement in the standard of living of the people, and thereby they will be helping these backward regions to improve and come ahead and prosper. Okay, then protest against antisocial activities. Business organizations should never support uh, antisocial activities like smuggling or black marketing or women trafficking. All these things are antisocial activities, and business organization should strive very hard to protest against these antisocial activities which are related to underworld people, bribing government people should be avoided. No financial help should be provided to such people by business organizations. Next is financial assistance. The society expects donations and financial assistance for various social causes such as eradication of poverty, illiteracy, etc. They expect business organization to provide financial assistance to various awareness program, anti-drug campaign, anti-noise pollution. This is a combination of the previous 2 points, wherein the weaker sections of the society and the antisocial activities both requires money, and the money comes from big business organizations, and they provide in order to eradicate the antisocial activities, in order to improve the weaker section of the society. The business organization should provide financial help to the society. Prevent congestions. The business should avoid congestions of industries in cities. Like we just said, that industries should be set up in backward areas and not in the midst of the urban area. Why? Because urban area is already overpopulated, and if you set up an industry in between it, there will be people who will be suffering from air pollution, from the causes of air pollution or any other such pollutions. So in it is the responsibility of the business organization to avoid such congestion and spread their industries in different places or locations. Industries should be preferably located in industrial zones. It will avoid adverse effect on residential. If there are only industries in that area, industrial zones where only the industries are set up, so there won't be direct access of people won't be directly affected by the chemicals extracted by these industries, and this won't affect their health and environment. So industry should be set up in industrial zones and not in residential zones. Next is employment generation. By setting up industries in weaker society, in backward areas, what are you doing? You are creating employment. If you are setting up an industry in a rural area and you are taking your old employees with you, what is the use? No, there is no use. Why? Because you are not providing the people with the employment, so there will be no upliftment. The backward areas will remain backward only. So it is your responsibility to give them good employment opportunities, generate employments. It can be done through expansion and diversification. Such efforts will help to solve the problem of unemployment and poverty in India. The last 2 points, the last topic of the chapter would be social responsibility towards protection of environment. What was there in protection of society? Upliftment of weaker section of the society, antisocial activities should be avoided, then providing employment opportunities, etc. Okay, so now we are on the last topic of the chapter, and that is social responsibility of business organization towards protection of environment. Business should be committed to protect and promote environment. True, you are affecting the environment directly. What does a business do? Business extract raw materials from the environment, then they are not using these raw materials properly, they are not managing these resources properly, and they are generating a lot of waste, a lot of industrial waste, a lot of electronic waste, and they are dumping this waste in the environment, whereby creating various pollutions such as air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, electronic garbage. That means business have direct influence on environment, and it is an obligation of the business to protect this environment. It is an obligation of the business to work towards the betterment of the environment. Industrialization results in environmental pollution by generating hazardous waste and has increased the risk of environmental pollutions, like loss of biodiversity because of release of harmful gases and waste in the water bodies, etc. So all these things should be avoided by the business. They should follow certain policies in order to reduce the pollution, or in order to reduce its bad impact on the environment. That is protection of environment benefits the business, that we'll be studying later. What I want to say is that business should focus on 4 R's, that is reduction, reuse, recycling, and recovery. whenever possible, waste reduction should be the utmost important. We have always said optimum use of resources. That means making best possible use of resources and reducing wastage. The less wastage you make, the more you are born to protect the environment. How? Because if you are making less wastage, that means you are using the resources more beneficially. That means you don't have to go again and again for extracting resources and polluting the environment. If waste is produced, then every effort should be made to reuse it if practicable. There is a word missing over there, that is reuse. If waste is produced, every effort should be made to recycle it if possible, or reuse it if possible. Yeah, recycle, sorry. uh, like we have always said that recycle. Whenever you see, you go to a mall, you'll be seeing three dustbins: one for solid waste, one for liquid waste, and one for electronic waste. That means if you are dumping everything together, it will be very difficult to recycle, because solid waste takes different time to recycle, liquid takes different time, and electronic take different time. So people should always try to minimize waste. If there is a waste, they should try to recycle it as soon as possible. And recycling is an option which should be considered for waste which cannot be reduced or reused. Okay, waste should be recycled, sorry, waste should be reduced. If you are making waste, make reuse best of waste. We have already studied in schools. There are programs wherein students are asked to make products out of waste, wherein people come with ice cream sticks, make houses out of ice cream sticks, and all such stuffs. That is best of waste, right? So firstly, you will reduce waste. Secondly, you will reuse the things which are wasted. And if it is not possible to reduce or reuse the waste, you will recycle it. Recycling means dumping it and uh, uh, making it zero, and then again making it into existence. Recycling, everybody knows what is recycling. Then last point is, it may be possible to recover materials or energy from waste which cannot be reduced, reused, or recycled. What is the benefit of the uh, protection of environment on people, protection of environment on government organization? Protection of environment benefits organization in many ways, such as it creates awareness among customers, employees, that this organization is a recycling product, this organization is reducing wastage, this organization is working for the environment, and thereby it creates a goodwill in the eyes of the people, and it helps in saving cost or control government, etc. So these were the three topics that we have covered today, that is protection of environment, responsibilities towards uh, customers, or responsibilities towards public in general. By this we are done with the chapter number 6 of OCM, that is social responsibilities of business, and we have already covered 4 chapters by now. And that's it. Thank you.